Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. I am here as part of the Mix It Up Monday hop, which you can see their logo there. And it is a hop, and I will leave all of the links of the hoppers down below so you can check them out. We are all starting our mixed media layouts with this sketch, and I'm drawing a few pieces of inspiration from this sketch, both the single photo, right hand column, and a pop of a feature color, which my color is going to be red because I'm going to tell a concussion story about my daughter. Now, I'll talk more about that later if you want to know the whole story, but let's talk about the layout right now. I am starting this layout with these pieces that I created myself doodling, and there is a video for that, and if you haven't seen that, I will link you up. So that's kind of its own sort of mixed media style thing, and I will add some more a bit later, but first I'm going to get the structure of this layout done, and that is going to involve an elaborate title. So I'm pulling out a couple of word elements from these supplies. Now this is my counterfeit kit for this month. I also have a video on that kit build. If you want to see that, I will link you up to that as well. I am pulling out a couple of pieces of paper. The sketch is very monochromatic besides that feature color, so I'm trying to keep the colors that I use besides my pop of red to be more mild. So I'm going with some blues and greens and trying to the green is a stronger color than the blue, so I'm going to try and tone that down a little bit. I did pull out a couple sheets of cut apart papers that I'm going to use to fill in this layout. This one, I'm going to cut this label out, and it is going to hold one part of my title. My title is going to kind of come in three parts. And these alphabets I created myself with a waffle flower, I believe it is, a stamp and die set. And it did take me quite a while to get all those alphas cut and organized. And I did it specifically for this one layout because I knew I wanted to tell this story in a multi-title layout. At any rate, you can see that I've got my title started, and here is where I'm going to switch over to doing some mixed media with the rest of my title, and I will also do some mixed media on the background. But I'm going to stamp out my title with these outline letters so that I can fill in with some mixed media. Now, as I do my title stamping, I leave little gaps for filling in the rest of the letters because I have to repeat some letters. And then when I did this part, the letters blurred on me because I tipped the thing, and I started to redo it, and then I got to thinking, wait a minute, because this story is about a concussion, those blurry letters actually make sense. So that was kind of a happy accident, and glad I realized it before I had moved on. But I purposely blurred additional letters on this title, and that is going to be one part of this mixed media title. All right, so I pulled out my latest favorite, which is these Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. I am going to create myself a palette on a stamping block that I use to stamp my title, and I'm just testing out the colors of these pencils as well as kind of this scribble pattern that I have in mind from a mixed media. So this is simple mixed media, but I think it's fun mixed media, and it feels very approachable. So I am dipping the tip of my pencil into the water puddle, and as I scribble onto the paper, it will start off wet and blur, and then the pencil dries out, and then you get a different texture to these pencils. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal when you're using this particular technique with these watercolor pencils. So I am going to do that on the background of my paper in 3 spots. I work a lot in 3s. My title on this layout is going to be in 3s. My journaling spots are embellishing has a little bit of journaling with it, and those are going to be in 3s. And then I've got my mixed media going on in groups of 3. So lots of 3s for my layout. I am doing 2 different colors of red. I know I started off with 4, but I narrowed it down. Oh, and don't lose that leftover paint. I'm going to use that to add spatters with my current favorite fan brush, and use up the rest of that paint before I clean up. All right, so here is a little bit of a look at how that turned out. Because this uses very little water, it does not take long to dry at all. All right, let's go back to that title. I forgot that I did the background first. So for my title, I am using the wetness of these pencils to help blend these 2 colors together. So I've got more of a pinky or bluey red at the top and more of a warm orangey red at the bottom. And if you do them one at a time while your pencil is still wet, they will naturally blend into each other. And I just kind of scribbled in there. I didn't stay inside the lines by any means. And then I'm doing the same wet pencil technique with doing these little kind of lightning bolts on this, the rest of this title. And once that's dried, I am going to fussy cut out around those lightning bolts. And here is what it looks like when it's finished. You will get a closer look at what the mixed media looks like when it's finished a little bit later when I get to some of the still photos and such. So let's go ahead and put this layout together. In the meantime, you can see that I've got that center tag, which was definitely an element from the original sketch. And that's going to be part 2 of my title, and my concussion word down there is going to be part 3 of the title. I did add some more pops of red with some washi tape around and kind of toned it down just a little bit with some green washi tape so that it doesn't draw the eye more than my title and whatnot. So you got to be careful when you're using very strong colors that you get it to be able to pop without the wrong things taking away the attention. All right, I am getting my title going on there, and you can see that I mixed and matched my letters with those pre-made words, and then I added the rest of the title to my concussion word down there. So the whole thing reads, "It's all fun and games until someone," and I'm going to cross out this word someone with some washi tape. And my idea was to do like an X cross out with it by tearing this washi tape, but then you can't really read the word. If I do just this one slash across it, you can still get the idea of the word, and then my embellishment points instead of someone to the word you. So this is kind of my little fun title, fun elaborate title that I've got going on here. All right, these little speech bubbles that I created with that doodling video that I mentioned earlier are going to hold 3 points of my journaling, 3 points of this story. It's a pretty long story and I can't get it all in there, but these will highlight kind of how this concussion proceeded from, oh, I hit my head, to, oh, I think I need to go to the ER. And so I'm using those 3 spots of embellishment with those 3 spots of journaling to move the story along. And I did cut out a little map tidbit from a piece of pattern paper from Pink Fresh Studio because she was at a park at a birthday party a half an hour away from home when we got the first call saying she had hit her head. And so we're like, okay, if you're not feeling great, give us a call and we'll come get you. But we're on the other side of the city and traffic can be really bad. And so by the time we got the second call, she was crying and, talking about a few other symptoms. And I'm like, well, okay, I think we'll come and get you and we'll see how it goes. And then by the third call, a parent had called saying she was throwing up and that she should probably go to the ER. And so we did our best to get there as fast as we could and still be safe. And I cannot fit all of the parts of this story, so I'm going to probably type up the whole entire thing and tuck it behind this layout in a little pocket. Because she was at a birthday party, she was planning on going to another party. It ruined all of her plans. She was the center of attention, which she didn't really like. And then, she's in the bathroom throwing up and ruining somebody's birthday party. So it was just kind of, not only, she's okay. Let me say that. She is okay. It was a mild concussion, but she felt really bad about ruining a birthday party. But, her friends love her, so it's not ruined. It's just one of those things. A lot of the emotions were there for all of us. At any rate, that is my layout this time around. Remember that this is a hop, so do go check out those other creators. And I will be back 2 more times this week with more videos for you. So I hope you will join me then. Until then, have an artful day.